Let me know when I don't can't tell if it's live.
This is being live streamed, and I hit OK. It's live.
Live right now? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Welcome to Living by Oak Values, where we don't just talk about values, we embody values, unlocking what makes us stronger, stronger men, fearless leaders, and unstoppable human beings. I'm Gary, the Superior Mailman, and we are here to keep it real, raw, and we are ready to rebuild. So let's dive in.
And I'm Rob, and today we're talking about thoughtfulness and the power of paying attention and slowing down and noticing what really matters. Um, we're also talking about how it is like understanding, and they can change the way we connect with people and lead our lives. And it is really more than just being nice to people. It's about being intentional how we care back. Remember, growth starts small, but it never really stops moving you forward.
So
Gary.
I got you. So thoughtfulness and understanding are both rooted in empathy. Thoughtfulness says, I considered you before I acted. And understanding says, I considered you before I judged. So today we're going to discuss how thoughtfulness and understanding, or how we use those two values in raising our kids, and what it was like for us growing up, and whether there was thoughtfulness and understanding in our generation. So, Rob, tell me how you use those two values while raising your daughter.
I don't use them together as much as I think of. Um, they kind of work. And like I told you earlier, I thought it was empathy. I think about you and your situation, and thus I empathize with you.
Mhm.
Um, and that's more where I get the understanding. And as I was doing my research for this, I realized that sure, we thoughtfulness is empathy. You empathize with somebody, but I use it a lot more with love, and I let love. mm, my love for my daughter motivates my thoughtfulness. That's when I sit and say, should I call her? And go to call her because I think about her. I'm thoughtful. Does she need help? I ask her, does she need help? Um, and that turns around and says, hey, ask her how her day is. And that's where the empathy and understanding come in and says, hey, I have to empathize with her. A good example, when she was in the hospital, the doctor said, play some of her relaxing music. So I opened up her phone, and I kid you not, she relaxes out to heavy metal. It is not something I would relax out to. Eh, But I had to be thoughtful and say, this is her music, and I understand. And lo and behold, you can see her heartbeat go do, 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 and just like be consistent. And it was like, wow, now I have a better understanding of my daughter because I was thoughtful enough to say, hey, I'm not going to judge you for your music. Now I understand it a little bit better.
Interesting.
How about you, brother?
Well, I want to get back to real quick. So I love heavy metal, some of it, but I cannot imagine in my wildest dreams relaxing to it. It's what
Oh,
I
yeah.
need when I'm going to go for a run, or I'm going to work out, or if I'm mad and I want to be mad, then I'll put on some heavy metal. But that's interesting that she can relax to that. So for me, with my daughter, I used to just go through the motions. How was school? It was great. Cool. How are you feeling? Great. Awesome. Leave it alone. But I realized that as I was more thoughtful in the question, instead of how was school, what did you do in school? How was gym class? What did you learn in math today? Even though I don't know anything about math or what they're teaching these days, by actually saying the words or the classes or whatever, it opened her up more. So by being thoughtful and saying not just how was school, but how was math or science or art or whatever she was doing, how was chorus today, she would open up more. And before I started this work, I knew that if she had an issue, I would be like, either I would fix it or I'd say, go ask your mother. Now I say, why don't you tell me more about that? And she'll get into it, and she'll tell me more, and I can honestly understand where she's coming from, and then I can try to relate to something from my childhood, or tell her that it'll be okay if she just addresses the issue instead of pushing something under the rug or whatever along those lines. So by opening up and really trying to dig in to what she's talking about, it shows her, whether I really understand her or not, it shows her that I care enough, that I'm thoughtful, and I might just understand. But if she got really deep into some of the stuff these kids do these days, I don't have a clue. But I act like I'm understanding, and that opens me up. So, yeah, and I think that since I've been practicing all of that stuff for the past few years, that she has gotten a lot closer to me, and she feels like she can tell me things that a lot of kids wouldn't tell their parents. So, in fact, I have to draw a line sometimes because she's like, Dad, you're my best friend. And I'm like, no, I'm your dad. I love you.
Mm.
I'm your dad. You're my daughter. And that has to be very clear. So, um,
So how do you use it? So the definition we got for thoughtfulness
I don't have those
in
cards.
action is slowing down with intentional choices. How do you do that with your daughter? How do you notice yourself slowing down?
Instead of just asking, how was school? I slow down and I get
Mm.
deeper. How was this
Mm.
class? Or how was what homework do you have? That's a big one because I'm terrible with homework. I hope she's not watching this because I realized that if I say, do you have homework? She says, no. And I used to be like, okay. Now I say, well, bring me your laptop. Between you and me and whoever's listening, I have no idea what to do once I have that laptop in my hand. But just those words of bring me your laptop, suddenly it kicks in. Wait, I have math homework. That's right. I have math homework to do. She
Mm.
thinks I'm going to look. And that's my intention, but I don't know the passwords. So, so your question, I was slowing down I slow down by asking detailed questions.
Do you have an example of where that might have hurt a relationship in your past by
I said,
asking questions
with my daughter or with anybody?
with anybody? Because I mean, you have to be thoughtfulness not just to your daughter, but to everybody around you, and,
Well,
and
I think
to
with my
be.
daughter, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead. And I'm saying, yeah, with your daughter, you're slowing down and asking questions. But has that come to bite you in the butt with true relationships? Because you can't apply just asking questions across the board.
Right.
Being
So as far as with if I'm working with another guy or if I'm in a relationship with a woman, I say, tell me more.
mm,
So I open the door for more, but I don't ask questions. If they don't want to share it, they don't have to. But I ask them, tell me more. Or do you want to tell me more? Do you want to share more? Do you want to go deeper? So that
mm,
lets them know that I'm being thoughtful, I care, and then whatever they decide to open up with, then I have to have empathy and understand what's going on. And that was
mm,
also a huge issue with my first few relationships after my divorce, where I would not really care. They would tell me something, and I'm like, either that's nice, or I would say, well, why did you do that? You should have done this, this, and that. So instead of
Mm.
asking questions and being understanding, I would tell them what I thought was the correct way. So, so do you feel like your parents were thoughtful and understanding in raising you in the same way that you are with your daughter?
No.
Okay.
I think my parents were stuck on the idea that parents know better and their way is the right way.
Hmm.
There was no there I guess there was a thoughtfulness in like, yeah, like you said, are they having good grades? Are they doing this? But I don't know that there was enough knowledge for them to have to say, maybe I should sit down and understand what's going
Mm.
on. Take the time and because I mean, as much as we say we were busy now, they were just as busy in the 90s when I was growing up.
Absolutely.
Life was crazy. There was so much going on. So it, you just can't chalk it up and say, hey, we're more busy nowadays. I mean, they were just as busy back then. So, um, and so, but was there enough knowledge? Did they know enough? Were they wanting to know enough beyond what they were originally taught?
Hmm.
Mm.
I agree with you 100%. I think my parents did an amazing job raising me, but I feel like I don't know. As I look back, I feel like they didn't understand,
Mm.
and they did. I'm sure they did because honestly, if you think about it, your parents went through the same thing that we went through, and our kids are going through the same thing that we went through. It's a cycle. But I don't ever recall a sit down where they tried to get on the same level. So
Mm.
they cared about the grades. They cared about us going to school on time and going to school in general. They did care, but I don't recall feeling the understanding part.
Mm. So, how are you learning to be more understanding?
I just try to get as far as my daughter. I try to get on her level,
Mm.
and I try to bring myself back to when I was a kid. If I had a crush on somebody, or if I got dumped or let down or whatever, I try to get on that level and try to remember those times and hear her out and put myself in her shoes. And if I can share
Mm.
knowledge, I will. But also the key with that is to not take over the story.
Mm.
It's their story, it's their pain, it's their thing. And if they
There
really
is
want it,
a.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because if they
You're
really
right.
want that story, they'll ask for it. But I think they're just looking for the understanding when they bring it up. They want to be heard.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know the name of the book. There is a book, and part of
Well,
this book says it. No, it might be. I've written.
right.
I've read a lot of books lately. Um, that part of your journey is that you seek advice from an older person,
Sure.
but that older person isn't living your life. That older person is just there to guide you.
Mhm.
That older person is me for my daughter. I am not there to live her life. I am only there as a guide.
Mhm.
And George Lucas used that as Ben Kenobi in Star Wars. He used him. Ben Kenobi didn't fight the battles for Luke. It was always, he's just there as a guiding light. And it's only there for a limited time.
I've never saw
So
Star Wars.
we just crashed and burned now. The
Pretty
whole
much.
podcast is through.
Pretty much. We just lost all of our followers.
I am not judging you. I am being understanding how you grew up in the 90s and
Yes.
give me a second.
Mm-hmm. You need time to process?
That explains a lot.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I am trying not to judge you at the moment. Yes. Okay. No, it's fine.
I knew from
Actually,
day one. I
Star
knew
Wars was not a big thing back when I was in high school. So,
I knew from day one I was never going to be an astronaut, so I never watched Star Wars or Star Trek. It didn't phase me.
gotcha.
And I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure if they populate Mars, I'm not going to be one of those ones that get to go.
Yeah. It's okay.
I'm okay with
It's
that.
yeah.
So
It,
go ahead. What's up?
go ahead.
I was
No,
you
it's a pretty good story. So,
okay? You never. I never asked you, but you never went into how you use understanding and thoughtfulness in your relationship with Lily.
oh, with Lily, and see, that is where I was questioning you.
Mm-hmm.
So, where I changed a lot is I used to be a very judgmental person. I used to tell people, oh, they're wrong. Even you called me a sometimes for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I didn't really consider people before saying this is what they needed. I would always go around going, hey, they need this. They need this in order to succeed. And after all this work, it was even after the divorce. So I can't say this is after the divorce. I mean, but it is after the divorce. But still to this day, I am learning that what people really need sometimes is just me to be by their side and to be present, not to act, not to judge, but just to sit there and be with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes they don't want to just sit there alone.
Sure.
And it's just my job to just say, hey, I'm here for you. And that's one thing that I'm learning with Lily is sometimes she acts out. And at first, I was like, she's one crazy, crazy cat. And I was judging her.
Hmm.
And I was acting because I was getting upset that she was acting out. Now it's more like I consider her actions before I even say, wow, she's crazy. I say, oh, she's acting out. I wonder what's going on. What does she really want? What is going on with her? And all it could be is that she did something stupid, and all I have to do is sit there and listen to her vent. And that's all it takes. And that's the empathy that truthfulness and understanding commingle with, I guess.
Okay. All right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Oh,
It makes sense.
yeah, but I act differently. And I'm realizing that my daughter is needing that same thing, is that she just wants me to sit there with her sometimes. And I never considered that in the past.
Hmm. Yeah. It's so this is gonna get long. It's getting long, but that reminds me of the episode where I discussed how was it the episode or was it something with a class where I sit with my daughter when she wakes up in the morning.
Mm. Yep.
When I wake her up, I sit on the edge of her bed. How'd you sleep last night? What are your intentions for the day? And before bed, I turn the lights, I tuck her in and turn the lights off. I ask her how her day was, what were her wins, what is she grateful for, and just those 3 or 4 minutes in total gives the impression, and I am, but it gives the impression that I am there. that I'm
Mm.
present and thoughtful, understanding, and I care.
Mm.
But all it takes is those 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So, so that's a
All
wrap, I
right.
think, or no?
Uh, that is
You think that?
that's my line. That's my line. And that's a wrap. Thoughtfulness and understanding doesn't have to be big or complicated. They are small, consistent choices that make a big difference. As you go about your week, uh, take notice of little small intentional things that you can do to be a little bit more understanding or a little bit more thoughtful. People around you will notice. And big things are coming, especially to our website. Um, and other big things are coming to the podcast. And conversations that are going to be deeper than ever. New episodes and even more unfiltered guests. We are going live more often and we're going to turn it up to 11. We're going to be louder, bolder, and we want you in the room because your story matters.
And whether you've been with us from the beginning or if you're new, welcome to the crew. Check out our Facebook crew on Facebook, obviously. Grab your next level dad packet and stay tuned at northmancoaching.com. Follow me, Superior Mailman, on TikTok. And remember that every moment you are casting a vote. Are you rising? Are you retreating? Are you honoring your worth or selling yourself short? Make your vote count. Until next time, stand up, speak the truth, and stay authentic. I don't know how to end it.
And the